I've joined the parts to the fabric. You can see them. I joined it like this with 1/4 inch on the fabric. I joined with 1/4 inch on the three sides. So I'm going now to shape it out. This is how you do it. Cutting just on the pad. So this is another method of cutting your breast pad. In case you don't want to shape it before sewing, you can still shape after sewing. So have this, and then I always like making this part. I always like creating a kind of hollow on the middle here, so that it's going to be free. Shape it also. For this part, remember it's 6 inches we need. So I'm going to cut off from my 6 inches. I can give it any shape of my choice. See it? I've done this. So I repeat same thing for this one too. Cut off from here. Then I'll shape it also from here with 6 inches. Now what I'll do next is to join these three pieces together. I'm going to join it with 1/2 inch. I'll join them with 1/2 inch. These two, I'll place it like this. I use 1/2 inch to join here, and then I'll join this one to place it like this. Use 1/2 inch to join. I'll do it and then show you when I'm through. Okay, I'm done joining the fabric. Here's the front part. I've joined the three front. I've also fixed the dart, so you can see it here. And here is the lining for the front part. I've joined it also separately. You can see it. And this is the back of the dress. I've joined it as well. Here's the back of the dress. I fixed the dart and then joined the zip area. Here is it, and here is the lining for the back part as well. So what I'll do now is to cut the neckline. I want to cut the neckline. The same thing I cut for this neck is going to be the same I'll cut for the lining, for the front lining. So I'll place it like this. Make sure everything is equal. I can use my pin to secure it like this. Just make sure it is equally placed. You can see it. So to mark the neck, here's what I have. Now I'll take my neck measurement. The neck width we marked earlier, see it here. You know it from this oblong area, this part that is oblongated. So from this point, I'm going to mark 1 inch downwards. I wouldn't want it to be more than 1 inch, but if you want yours to be more than 1 inch, it's your choice. So I'll mark it like this from this point, and then I'll mark it a kind of round neck, or make it to be a kind of round neck with that 1 inch, and then I'll stop just 1 inch before the finishing. See where I stopped? Just 1 inch before I get to the end. I stopped here. Now from this point, I'm going to mark it down a kind of V shape. I'll mark it with a kind of V shape. I'm going to mark it with 2 inches. Here's the 2 inches. So I'll take it straight like V shape. Okay, just like that. So I'm going to cut it now. From this point, I'll cut as if I'm trying to make a round neck. And then when I get to this point, I'll take my V shape. Okay, I'm done cutting the neckline. You can see it here. Then I used 1 inch here, but if you want, you can make yours deeper. You can use 1.5. It's your choice. So the same way I cut out this neckline, I'm going to repeat the same thing for the front lining. Here is the front lining. I'm going to cut this neckline the same way on this front lining. And then I won't be joining it lining to fabric. I'm going to join fabric to fabric, lining to lining, just like this. I'll get the back fabric. And then for the back neck, if you want, you can equally shape yours. You can go inside. If you want, you can leave it straight like this. So to join it, you do it this way. I'll be joining fabric to fabric, just like this. Fabric to fabric. Okay. So like this, fabric to fabric. And then I'll take the usual measurement, my bust measurement, my under bust measurement, my hip measurement, and then I'll sew it up. So I'll be joining it, I'll join it and bring it back so you see what I've done. And then for this lining, I'll repeat it, the same thing I did for the main fabric. I'll do it also for the lining. I'm going to place it like this. Take the same measurement I did for this one. Measure out and then leave my zip allowance as well. I'll do it, bring it back for you to see. Okay, here we'll be cutting the flare. I told you we'll be making 1440-degree peplum. So to make this peplum, 1440-degree peplum is actually 1440-degree peplum is actually 360 into 4 places. Now let me explain. You know, a circumference is 360, a circle is 360, right? Now, one circle is 360, and then two circles will give you 720. When you add another two circles to 720, it will give you 1440. So that's how it goes. To make 1440-degree peplum, I'm working for front and back. It then means front is going to get 720 and back is going to get 720. Now when you combine the two 720 together, it gives you 1440 degrees. So what I'll do now is to cut 360 into 2 places for the front and 360 into 2 places for the back. Now let's go. To make a flare, you must fold your fabric into 4. You fold the first one like this, and then you fold the second one to get 4. But before I fold, I'll be working with, The flare is going to come at my above knee, okay, at the lower part of my knee. This is the dress. To make 1440 degree circle, I'm going to use this to illustrate it. Now, to make your circle, you need your length, and then you need the circumference. The circumference is the round part of wherever you want to place uh, your the flare. For instance, here now, you need the circumference between here to here, round. Okay, if it is a half length or a waistcloth you are sewing, if it is a blouse and you want to put peplum, you need the circumference of your waist. If it is a sleeve and you want to put peplum, you need the circumference of your sleeve. So I want the peplum to fall here, to be here. So I need the circumference of this peplum. To make 1440 degree peplum, it means I'll be cutting 360 into 4 places, because 360 times 4 will give me 1440. So since I'll be cutting 360 into 4 places, it means the front will get two peplums and the back will get two peplums. That means the front is going to be 720 degree peplum and the back is also going to be 720 degree peplum. The meaning of this 720 degree peplum means I'll cut the first peplum, keep it aside, and cut the second one to join the two. I'll do the same thing for the back. I'll cut the first one, keep it aside, cut the second one, and join the two. And that will give me 1440 degree peplum. Had it been I want to make 720, just 720 degree peplum, it then means I'll cut one peplum for the front and one peplum for the back, which means, in other words, 360 degree for the front, 360 for the back. 360 plus 360 will give me 720. So if I want to make 720 degree peplum, I'm going to cut it 1 1. Okay, and then if I want to make just 360 degree peplum, that means I'm going to cut one for the whole of the circumference. I'm going to cut just one flare. Then if I want, it goes on and on. So let's emphasize more on this particular one we're working with. The full length is 40, but so far, from this shoulder here, from this shoulder down to this above knee, I have 34. My half length is 16, and then from that 16, I measured 18 inches for my above knee. So 16 plus 18 will give me 34. So what I need to do now is to subtract 40 from 34. 40, which is the full length, you determine where you want your length to be. 40 minus 34 will give me 6. Now, for me to make this 1440 degree peplum, I've told you it's going to be 360 into 4 places, which means 2 will be for the front and 2 will be for the back, and that will give me 1440. Now, when I get what I'll do is to take the circumference of wherever I want to place that flare. If it is the waist, if it is above knee, wherever I want the flare to be, I'll take the circumference of it, circumference round whatever thing I want to fix the flare to. Now, when I take the circumference, like the circumference of what I'm trying to make for this dress is 38. That 38, I'm going to divide it by 4. I'm dividing by 4 because I need to get 4 peplums. So I'll divide it by 4. Now, when I divide 38 by 4, I get 9.5. That 9.5 now, I'm going to divide it. 9.5 becomes uh, um, 9.5 becomes the circumference for each peplum. Circumference for each peplum now becomes 9.5. Then I'm going to find the radius of that circumference. To find the radius of the circumference, I'll divide 9.5 by 6.28. When I divide 9.5 by 6.28, whatever I get becomes my radius. So assuming I get 1.5. 9.5 divided by 6.28. Assuming it is 1.5, I'll mark the 1.5 like this. Mark it all the way around like this. So this is the radius of my circumference. And then from here now, I'm going to take that length. I told you we are working with a length of 8 inches. I'm going to mark my 8 inches like this. Can you see it? Then I'll mark it round too. So that's just it. And then remember, whenever you are trying to make this, when you divide 9.5 by 6.28, anything you get, maybe 9.5 divided by 6.28, you get 1.5, assuming it is 1.5. This 1.5 now, make sure you add it to the length. That is, the length is 8, right? 6 plus 2 inches seam allowance, 8. Now, this length of 8 inches, add it to your 1.5. It gives you 9.5. The essence of adding it is to know what exactly you will be folding your fabric with. So, right now, I have to fold this with 9.5. This 9.5 becomes 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 1.5 or 9.5. So, I'll make sure I fold here with 9.5. Or make sure I fold and get exactly 9.5 so that you don't end up wasting your fabric. Now, when you get exactly your 9.5, you've already known that 1.5 is going to come out from here. So you mark your 1.5 like this. And then you also know that 8 is going to come out from here. You mark your 8 like this. So that's just all about making a flare of 1440 degree, and then you cut it. You cut it from here, and then you cut also from here. And after cutting, you get, after cutting it, you get this. You can see this one. I've already cut this one. After cutting, it's meant to be like this. This was the original form. I cut off from here and cut off from here too. And then after cutting, this is the result. I'll split it open from here because it's going to be closed up like this. It's going to be closed here. So after I've cut it, I'll now use my scissors, open one side, any of the side you want. Then you have this. I hope that is clear. Okay. To make the back of this flare, from the video, from the picture, you can see it has a kind of tail at the back. So to make that type of bag, what you need to fold your fabric into 4 as usual. I'm going to use the front to trace for the back. So I'll place it like this. Place it like this. Then I'm going to mark it exactly. But on getting here at this point, I'll make it longer. I'll make it longer from this point. I'm adding about 12 inches to it. Take it like this. Then as I go, I reduce it. Okay. Okay, this is 15. Now, sorry, this is 14. Make 15 here. Or make 16 here. Make 18 here. Or make 20. Just make sure it connects perfectly. Again, just like this. And then get here until 28. So you see how it connected to this one. So I'll cut it now. This is just one part of the back, so I need to get the other part of the back. I've gotten the other part, the other side of the back, and then for this back, you now take the front fabric. This is the front. I'll place it on the back so that I'll now sketch from this part so that I can cut off this one and I'll leave only this one. Okay, here now, I've already fixed the flay to the fabric. Here now, we'll be fixing the off-shoulder sleeve. And then, to fix your off-shoulder sleeve, you need your round shoulder measurement. The round shoulder I'll be working with is 40. Be working with a round shoulder of 40. Then, you need to measure out what you have for your neck. Remember our neck, we have 6 inches here. I have 12 here. The whole of this is 12. And then for the back too, I also have 12. So 12 plus 12, the front 12 and the back 12 will give me 24. Then the round shoulder, which is 40, I'm going to subtract 24 from 40 to get 16. So I'll be working with 16 for my sleeve. Now this 16, I'm working with 2 sleeves. It then means 8 is going for one sleeve and 8 is going for the other sleeve to make 16. So this 8 now means also that, the sleeve goes like this. You fold it and then, so it means it's going to be 4 inches on both sides. 4 here, 4 here to give me 8 because the sleeve is going to be like this, right? So I will be using 8 for this side and 8 for this other side to get 16. Now to make this sleeve, I'll be using this lining to illustrate it, after which I'll cut it on the main fabric. To make this sleeve, remember I told you from our calculation, we are using 8 here, 8 here. And then I'll have to fold this fabric into 2. You can see it folded. So when I fold into 2, it means this 8 becomes 4. Okay? This is just for one side of the sleeve. Then it means this 8 that I'll be using for the sleeve becomes 4. So what I'll do now, I'll measure out 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance, 5. Here's my 5. I'll mark it. Remember, our off shoulder is -5. And then we use 8 inches for our sleeve, for the sleeve armhole depth when we were marking. Remember, we use 8 inches. So that's what I'll do here. I'll place -5 and then this is my 8 inches here. So from this point, I'll connect it like this, shallow, the same way I did here. But if you don't want to make it like this, you can simply place it, see the way I'm placing mine. You can simply take this, place it like this, mark whatever thing you have here, okay? Or in other words, you can take it like this, from this neck region, from this point, check what you have here, okay? I have about 6 inches. So you place it like this and mark out that 6 inches so that you now connect it anyhow you feel is easy for you. And then you now measure out your round armhole. I'm using a round armhole of 12, divide by 2, 6. You need to add about 1 to 2 inches seam allowance, and then you connect it this way. Sorry about that. So I'll cut it here, then cut this way. You can leave it like this, or you can just make a small curve here. And then this is one of the sleeve. In fixing it, you fix it like this. This one goes to the back and this one comes to this front. Then you have your sleeve like this. You sew it here front, you sew the back too. And then here you need to turn it with a fabric, or you use your bias to hem this part. Okay, then you have your off shoulder armhole, your off shoulder sleeve like this. That's all for the sleeve. Please, if you are still watching us to this point, I will say congratulations for following us to the end. And then if you've not subscribed, please do go to subscribe, click on the subscribe button, and also like our page if what we are doing is of much value to you. Thank you. When I sew this sleeve, I'll bring it back so you see the end result of our work.